Hi folks, Josh from Tough Call here for the Heavy Hockey Network, and in this video I'm going to break down 4 separate breakout options on the power play the Oilers have employed in the game since losing McDavid but regaining Leon Draisaitl. So the first option, of course, is what they normally do with McDavid, which I'll simply call the McDavid. And that's a situation where Bouchard is usually the puck carrier. He'll skate straight up the ice. McDavid will curl way down low behind him, and Nugent Hopkins will curl to the far boards in support. And here's an example of it where the puck carrier skates straight up the middle, one player stays way behind, gets the drop pass, and then carries it up the ice. Option 2 is the double curl support, which is almost like the McDavid, except 2 players curl low. So the puck carrier still carries it straight up the middle, but one player will go up one side, and a second supporting player will then curl in sort of the McDavid spot. So here it is in action. The puck carrier skates up the ice with 2 players supporting and then picks one to drop it back to. Option 3 is something I'll call the middle zone split. And it's where the puck carrier and the supporting player don't skate forwards anymore. They go backwards. And instead of the player curling going below the puck, he's going to come above the puck. And the purpose is to isolate the gap between the 2 penalty killers. If that first penalty killer is down low, then instead of curling low under, you curl up above him and split between them. And here's an example of that in action. The player swings above the first penalty killer and splits them. Option 4 is what I'm simply going to call stop me, I dare you. And that's when nothing else is working and you just put the team on your back and say, I'm just going to will this puck up the ice and I dare you to try and stop me from getting to the other end. And there is an example. So now we're going to take a look at how these were employed over the last 3 games with Leon Draisaitl in the lineup and Connor McDavid without. So here's an example against the Flames. It's just the straight McDavid, the single player supporting in behind, and then he skates it up. Now it's Draisaitl. As he gets to the line, often the McDavid, you'll use the outlet pass to the sidewall. He tries, but it hits the defender's stick, and then Draisaitl swarmed. So it was the right idea, but poor execution. Bad puck luck there. Now it's late in the power play, so out comes the second unit, and they're going to use the double curl support. So this time, behind the puck carrier, there's 2 players supporting. So now the new puck carrier has that outlet, and he uses it. And then once again, when they hit the line, oftentimes they go to the sidewall. But this time, he's just going to chip it in and go for it himself instead of making a direct pass. Still creating that foot race, that opportunity for a puck battle. They did win that puck battle, but then they turned it over. So the second unit has one more crack at it, and this time they just use a quick McDavid. They don't even go back deep. They just do a quick regroup high in the zone, and this time they do use the outlet pass instead of the chip, and they get full possession as a result. Now here's a curious one that uses 3 of the 4 options we talked about all in one shot. It's going to start out as the middle zone split, where Draisaitl is going to curl up and he's going to try and split the Vegas attackers, but then he has to turn back. So there's a quick opportunity for the double regroup, but when the 2 players curl and support, they're above the puck instead of behind it. So now it just turns into like a typical McDavid, where it's as if Bouchard had passed the puck to Draisaitl and now he's skating up with 2 players on his flank. So in the typical McDavid, he's going to use that outlet pass if that forechecker comes to him, which in this case, that first Vegas forechecker does come down to him, so he is going to try and use his outlet on the side, Nugent Hopkins, but unfortunately the pass is a little bit behind him, so they don't get that clean entry they're hoping for. But it is interesting to see what happens, how they react when that forechecker doesn't back off like this. Now here's a variation of the double curl support. Draisaitl has the puck as the last man back, and he wants to curl up, but he's stopped. So he's going to turn back and then move the puck up to Bouchard. So now it's like Bouchard has the puck, and he's about to pass it back to the 2 players that had double curled. The only difference is the puck started low, went high first, and now it's going to go back low. Now, instead of using his outlet on the left, Draisaitl's going to carry it. And watch Bouchard, how smart he is to get in the way of that defender and knock his stick out of the way and clear the lane for Draisaitl. And again, he's going to try and use that outlet pass that they set up, and Hyman gets it, and then he chips it in, and Draisaitl's going to go in and win a battle. Now, the first time they tried to use the middle zone split, it didn't work, but here's a second opportunity. They do it against Vegas again, and this time it leads to the 5-on-3 goal. Draisaitl sees the opening, but this time he gets his feet going. Watch his feet pump, and he just blows by the two forecheckers, and he does have the outlet, Skinner, on the left-hand side. So he uses his outlet, drives to the net, draws the penalty, and then, of course, that leads to this beauty goal, Nugent-Hopkins to Draisaitl for the typical one-timer on a 5-on-3. Now, here's a double curl support attempt that fails because Draisaitl misses the outlet pass. So what does he do? He turns back and he assesses the situation and he says, you know what? Stop me. I dare you. I'm getting this puck down the ice. And he works himself to the blue line. Again, he has the outlet on the side wall, which he uses, and they gain clean zone entry. Here again is the half speed, stop me, I dare you. Bouchard realizes they just give him the space, so he just casually saunters up the ice and uses his outlet. Now, of course, most of that was the first unit, but let's take a look at the second unit. Anything you can do, I can do better. Here they are in a defensive zone faceoff, and they're going to use an abbreviated McDavid because they don't have a lot of time to set it up. But they create a McDavid, and 10 to 12 seconds later, from a defensive zone faceoff, they're in the zone cleanly. Again, off a faceoff. This time, they're just going to use quick ups and work the puck up the ice as quickly as possible with 2 or 3 great passes. And again, clean zone entry. Here they are again with quick ups. They don't have a lot of time to work with, so they need to get up the ice if they want to use any of their power play time. Here's another one, 6 seconds. They don't have any time to set up, so bing, boom, bang, and it's up the ice in a hurry for a shot on goal. Here's another one, quick ups. There's less than 10 seconds on the clock, and they're behind the net. There's 7 seconds left. And somehow, the second unit works this puck up, and they almost have enough time to get this scoring opportunity. They're just like half a second late. And then here they are with just a stop me, I dare you. The second unit just bullying their way into the zone, just as quick as can be, as easy as can be. Here they are again, same thing. And this particular zone entry led to some offensive zone time that led directly to this goal. And then it also led to another power play because of the failed coach's challenge off here. Second unit getting it done.